Hi, welcome everyone. Excited to have one of my best friends, Lucia Doynel, with us today. Tell me a little bit about what you do about Tinylicious and what do you love to do? What are some of the favorite parts about what you get to do?
So Tinylicious is a production company, and I focus on videos and photography. And even right now, I'm doing a lot of things that have nothing to do with my career, and I've never got like so many inquiries about my business in a week. Like it has. So like I felt really inspired, and it's happening again, right? I felt really inspired to sing, really inspired to write songs. And just I went to the library, I picked up some books and some writing, and I've been doing the exercises. I have like a writing session on Friday with a friend that has like all the music background. And literally like I just have 3 photo shoots on Saturday, and I just like I could have, like everybody wants me at the same time. It's just like it's one of those things. Like I never know how it's gonna happen, but I really do trust that whatever inspiration is coming in, it's coming in for a reason.
Yeah.
And
such a huge key.
Right. And I also find myself that in a position sometimes where I can't say no. Mm-hmm. And I'll talk more about that. Like if that's So sometimes it hurts to say no to creative ideas. Like it breaks my heart. And I get a lot of them like every day. I have so many creative ideas. So I start writing them down because I feel like there's no possible way that I can be doing all of these things. But it really does come to a moment of I have to really decide. It's like, okay, which ones I'm going to say yes to. So I just really value them, when I get them so clearly, because it's like, it's obviously a yes.
Yeah. Because
I get like smaller ones, but like around the same time, like the big ones that I just really feel like in every level of my beingness, like, okay, this is a yes. It just it's coming into the world. I feel like it takes balls to do what we do.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a level of really letting go.
Yeah.
Of which it's interesting because it's been really present these past few weeks. Because I've been reading up on what we're doing. Yeah. So one of the biggest keys that I find on the Allowing.Love process is the vibration of the essence that you want to bring forward. Like that is the most important aspect of it, because and I'm going to give you an example. Like you can have, I don't know, $10,000 in the bank, like as something that you wanted to just have, and still feel like it's not enough. Or you can have $2 in the bank, and like it's like it doesn't really matter, like, because if the essence of abundance is what you want to bring forward, it's not going to show up in a number. It's going to show up in an experience of the inner being, like of your inner experience.
Yeah.
And what I've found is that when I get really clear about the vibration, about the essence of what I want to bring forward, the rest comes really easily. When I'm not clear about the essence or the vibration of what I want of my dream, it gets a little confusing. It gets a little diluted, and it's almost like it's like the ego wanting to manifest something which never works out. And it just sometimes like the next actions that come forward for me have nothing to do with the dream. Like what we were just discussing, right, about the job. Like sometimes it's just like it's something completely different. And there's like a level of trusting that comes into play with your own intuition, because the more you do the things that you hear, and it just comes as a whisper. It's never loud.
Yeah. Neither for me.
It's never loud. It's usually just like, and then the more you follow through, the more intuition you get.
Yep.
And so it's like a muscle, right?
Yeah.
that's like, I feel like the biggest key. I want to talk about like the forgiveness and the gratitude as well.
Great.
Because forgiveness is just something that sometimes I can do really automatically, but not really feeling it. And I never understand how it's going to heal or whatever. But maybe one day I just get like a really compassionate like moment that it really hits home for me. So I think it's like one of those like the inspiration versus discipline kind of thing that I do, because it's not something that comes up naturally to me to feel that compassion or to feel that forgiveness, but it's more of like one of the things that I continue to do, and then it just one day it just unlocks. And I think that true manifestation comes from a shift in consciousness, because if you don't shift your consciousness to embrace or receive what you are wanting to bring forward, the thing might come to you, but you're not going to be able to hold on to it.
Truly.
So I think that that's why the 5 steps really work well, because the forgiveness and the compassion allow your consciousness to shift in a way that you are able to receive of your dream in a real tangible way.
Yeah.
And the other aspect is the gratitude. Like I can have a very intense week, day, or month, but like tuning into the gratitude brings me to tears every time. And it's like the easiest way to get high. Like I feel like
right.
It's like the easiest way. If you want to get high, just tuning into some gratitude. And I trust me, like real gratitude. Like I remember I was just having my dad was over for the holidays with my sisters, and they were staying with me. It's like for more than 2 weeks. Like we almost kill each other. I feel like I think it's Hemingway. I can't remember who said this, but like that fish and visits stink after 3 days. Like honestly, it was like I think it was I mean maybe it was someone else. But honestly, it was like week 2, and I was just like losing my marbles. And I remember I was like hiding in my room doing the 5 steps, and it just hit me like the level of gratitude that I felt for my dad to come visit me, because the economy in Argentina, it's really awful right now. Like it was a huge effort for him to come over with my sisters, and like I just had like, and he had been actually really, really, really good to me the whole time he was here. So thoughtful, so gentle, so caring. And it's just like, it just brought me to a level of like, just like loving. Yeah. The vibration of loving that I feel like that's, no matter what I want to manifest, like I think loving is like the utmost like vibration that I want to bring forward. Yeah. And it really brought me into like vibration of loving really easily, the gratitude. And I was just like open-hearted right away. And I feel like, I don't know if everybody feels this way, but I feel in my body, like spiritually, whatever's going on, I feel it in my body, in my body, really, like really real.
Me too.
When I feel like the loving or gratitude, just my heart feels like a huge ball of energy just expanding, you know? If I'm in a date with someone and I feel like there's a connection, my heart starts expanding right away. Yeah. I just can't explain it. And it's like probably their soul and my soul just like having fun with each other, you know? But like, I just like in that moment, it just feels like it's just wide open.
Yeah. No, it is interesting that the Heart Math Institute has started to be able to map that, I think with EKG. But my experience is right on with yours, and I think it's just a great key for people to be aware of, right? Because even that intention, you'll have an experience of it, but really just paying attention to that is so huge.
And I just have one more thing to say about like first
please.
Asking.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I've noticed is like you ask like, how can it grow and expand me? This dream. I think that's also really like, you're a genius, like how you wrote this down in very easy steps, because these are like really huge concepts. Like really unpacking this is huge. Like you can just do it and you'll have great results. But like if you really want to know like the I guess like the technology behind it. Like our souls are here to learn and grow.
Yep.
And they will this is their playground.
Yeah.
And what I was saying about like, if you don't shift your consciousness, like the manifestation will not hold, you're not going to hold on to your manifestation. That's why it's important to really check in if this is going to grow and expand you.
Yeah.
Sorry, just like lower my phone.
Truly.
That's right. It's really important to see if this is going to grow and expand you, because your soul wants to shift, wants to grow, wants to expand, and your consciousness wants to receive this new learning experience, because it's all meant for that.
Yeah.
So that's why it's really a really legit question. Like if you hear a no, the manifestation will not come through because it's not for your highest good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes the ego was like, but I want it.
Yeah, because not everyone lives in LA, so not everyone has the opportunity to work with you, and so I want you to share a couple of keys, if you would. And I'm really putting you on the spot with this one, but if you were thinking about making video for yourself, or even just doing photography for yourself, or you're aware that you really want to get in front of a camera and share, what are some of the most important things that you do for a client to help them get relaxed or connected, or like what is it that if you could give them one or two keys to really allow that freedom, that authenticity to be what leads?
Well, what's interesting, like what I hear the most from people, like when they start working with me, is like, oh, I never like the way I look on photos. I feel like my like either like there's always something, like I'm too fat, I am too whatever. There's always like something, like something's not enough, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing that I do is checking like the intention behind what we're doing. And I like the idea of like, okay, so why are you getting on camera, and what's the purpose behind it? And so most of the times, like that will get super clear information about the purpose versus like making it about yourself.
Oh, I love that.
Right?
That's a huge.
So you're serving someone else. Most of the times you're serving someone else. Like when I'm doing this video with you, right? This interview, it's not about Lucia, right? It's about like helping your followers, or you're helping the people that you work with to really get the Allowing.Love. And I think that I love that, and I want to be part of that, and of course I'll support you, right? So that's the first step, intention.
Huge.
The second one is just like so being aware of what are the things that come up, or what are the judgments that come up when you think of being in front of the camera. And I think that that's often, they say it takes great courage to see the face of God. And it's because you have to go through all the illusions first. And those are the hardest to face. And the illusion that whatever we look like, it's going to define how people receive us or love us, is just one of the biggest keys to just release and like have true freedom in your expression.
Yeah. So
I usually just check in. It's like, what are the judgments that are coming up? Sometimes there's like a straightforward answer. Just I don't like my lips. I don't know. I'm just giving you just stupid stuff. But like, or I don't like this, or I don't like that. Or sometimes there's just like a true memory, like a real memory where you felt it was not safe to be seen, and you formed an idea about it. Like I remember when I was like 6 years old, there was this older kid like on 7th grade that was like in the same school, was obsessed with me. And he's like, don't worry, he's just like, he was harmless, but like he placed so much attention on me during the breaks that I remember it was not okay to be myself, or it was not okay to be seen. So I used to hide in the classroom because he was just obsessed with me. It's like, of course I look like a tiny little doll to him.
Yeah.
But human being, right?
Yeah.
So it felt not safe. So I had to let go of any judgments that I had about, like, you know, not feeling safe and being seen.
Yeah. That's huge.
So
incredible.
So first step is acknowledging it.
Yeah.
Accepting that that's there.
Yeah.
And then really moving into the self-forgiveness, even if it just feels like an automated thing that we're doing. Because, I mean, it's important to say the words and to really bring forward the compassion. So what I just make my clients do is just like focus themselves in their heart and breathe in and out through their heart for a little bit, so they get in touch with that compassion and that loving essence. And then walk them through, like, seeing themselves in the situation, how old they are, and just loving themselves and forgiving themselves and just giving that part of themselves, you know, whatever they need in the moment. One of the specialties that I bring to the table with the videos and with the photos is to help people get really comfortable in front of the camera. And I work for heart-centered brands, and I've chosen that level of clients because I find it, I think it's just easier for me when there's like there's a heart in what they're doing. Yeah. They really feel inspired. It doesn't have to be nonprofits or just to be able to do, you know, a heart-centered business. And I think that just getting into a place where you want to share your work, you want to share what you're doing, either through a video or through your photos for social media, for your website. And you just, you know, I think it's important for me to help them get that done in a way that feels good to them. Because I think that for promotion, self-promotion is like often the hardest thing we find for ourselves. So having someone to hold your hand while you're just getting your stuff out there, it's huge. It's a very vulnerable process. Yeah. No matter if you're like designing, you know, socks like Shannon, or if you're, you know, coaching, or, you know, it just like, no matter what you're doing, even if you just have a product, like, it's still a vulnerable process. Yeah. And lately I've been really indulging in photography more. And it's a really fun process for me because it's more of like because when I'm doing videos, it's usually like me, my assistant, like hair and makeup person. It's like, it's a crew, right? So, and we're still all holding in the loving for the person that's doing whatever we're filming. But when it's portraits or creative portraits, like, I find that it's just like, it's a one-on-one process. Yeah. And it really allows space to just like get in there and just let yourself be seen and just love on each other. Yeah. And I think that there's just so much beauty, and like the result is in the photos. Like, you can see the spark in people's eyes, and I just like, yeah. And I feel
and keep talking, but I am gonna, when I create the YouTube version of this, I'm gonna splice in some of the portraits that you did of Eric. Oh. Because I've never seen him look so good, right? And I love that we came into your studio, right? And then I left. And so to see those photos at the end of the day was just, honestly, was truly mind-blowing.
So Eric was, I think, the one that I worked the least with. Like, it was just so effortless to photograph him, to be honest.
I liked that.
He's already this loving presence. Yeah. He's so comfortable with being himself. I just had so much fun.
You're truly a gift to people in that way, Luli, because it's not only a challenging thing to do, but if you do have a business, a service, a cause, a community, right? I don't know if there's anyone out there that would not yet know how important it is to have video, to have great photography, really to communicate that heart, right? To really effectively get your message, your love, your story, your essence out there. And I think just video is such a profound medium for that, because I remember when I finished filming with you, I was like, oh my Lord, did I say anything coherent? Like, I felt really good and connected, but I was like, wow, I'm really interested to see how she weaves an effective message or a story into it. But then when I saw the video, right, and just how you'd, truly like picked up all these different, this is so cheesy, but picked up all these different pieces of yarn and truly weaved it together in a way that was just really like a cohesive whole, was really, is a talent, is a gift.
The specialties that I bring to the table with the videos and with the photos is to help people get really comfortable in front of the camera. And I work for heart-centered brands, and I've chosen that level of clients because I find it, I think it's just easier for me when there's like there's a heart in what they're doing.
Yeah,
they really feel inspired. It doesn't have to be nonprofits or just to be able to do, a heart-centered business. And I think that just getting into a place where you want to share your work, you want to share what you're doing, either through a video or through your photos for social media, for your website, and you just, I think it's important for me to help them get that done in a way that feels good to them. Because I think that for promotion, self-promotion is like often the hardest thing we find for ourselves. So having someone to hold your hand while you're just getting your stuff out there, it's huge.
If there is anyone that does watch this video and they want to learn a little more about you and about what you do, Luli, where would you direct them?
On Instagram is a great way of connecting. tinylucias.co.
Great. Awesome. Yeah, I love it. Well, I will also have the link available for folks. So thank you so much. I hope everyone watching just really got a sense of the power of really connecting to your own intuition. That's a really wonderful way to get that is through the Allowing.Love practice, and really just how easy it can be to just take those next steps and turn just something that we like, something that we love, something that's creative into our whole living, right? It's just an incredible journey. So thank you for being with me, Luli. Love you, honey.
For having me. I love you so much.
So much.
For your work.